Hey, what's up? I know the last Flash review I made was, it was a bit ago. But today, I'm going to be reviewing 4 new games. Let's get into the first game. So the first game is called X Racer. So let's get into the. It's actually pretty good. It's like there's not really that much to say about it. It's just, good music. I'm gonna give the music a 1 out of 1. Now let's get into the. It is a 3D game, but for a 3D game, it's actually pretty good, graphics-wise. Anyways, so the graphics are pretty simplistic, but you can't really do that many things with 3D graphics, obviously if it's a low-budget Flash game. So for all the limitations and stuff, the graphics are, they're a 2 out of 2. Yep, so far this game's pretty good. But, what's the last thing? We have to get into the. The gameplay is very simple. You're this fucking jet thing, and then you just have to not hit the pillars. Now, the controls at first, I was like, oh, it's impossible to not hit the pillars. But actually, what you have to do in the game is you have to go a specific direction, because if you try to go, one direction, you try to, oh yeah, I can make it, usually, actually the thing you're driving is not fast enough, so usually you just crash. And there's also these hoops. The blue hoop does nothing when you go through it, it just gives you points. The green hoop actually makes you go faster, and I'm pretty sure it's a permanent effect, and the red hoop makes you temporarily go slower. So those are the ones you want to hit the most, because as the game goes on, you actually go faster and faster. And the gameplay mixed with the music, everything accommodating, it can be very satisfying. So yeah, in total, the gameplay gets a 6 out of 7, which means in total, the game gets a 9 out of 10. Pretty good. Now, let's get into the next game. Oh, hey, remember the last time when I did the songs? This time, I'm also gonna do that. So here's a transition slide, a bunch of transition slide songs. This is the next game, 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 this is the next game. This is the next game. Here's a little instrumental I made right now on Audacity. This is the next game. 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 And the name is. One of the first games I ever reviewed was Slope. I gave it kind of a mediocre score because, I was kind of bad at the game. Back then I was bad at a lot of games, but now I'm actually great at the game. And this is why today I'm going to be not re-reviewing the game, but reviewing Slope multiplayer. Basically the exact same game, but it's multiplayer. It's basically the exact same game, but there's actually a leaderboard, and I'm pretty sure I'm around level 30. Anyways, I'll get into that in the gameplay section, but first, we have to get into the. It's pretty slick, it's like, dun. It gets a 1 out of 1, easy 1 out of 1. Anyways, so that was pretty short. Let's get into the. You might think it's just the exact same game, but no, the graphics got a lot better. First of all, I think there's about 3 different boards you can go on that are the exact same gameplay wise, but graphically they look entirely different. And second of all, the balls in this game actually have lighting, unlike in the first one where they basically didn't. This one, there's definitely a little bit of a glow there, which is why the graphics get a 2 out of 2. Anyways, let's get into the... Whereas with the other one, after you got good at the game, you could basically just go forever and it became really stale. This one actually has a reason to play. It's to get high in the leaderboard. And also some of the things are actually very difficult. And yeah, most of the people that play the game are just bots, but I think there's a few real people. And also there's checkpoints in this one, whereas the other one, if you died, you would have absolutely nothing saved. This one actually does have checkpoints, so it makes it a lot, better. Oh yeah, and the rest of the gameplay, you're basically just a ball, and then you have to go through all these obstacles. You don't want to hit the red stuff, because the red stuff's bad. When there's actually another player in the game, it can actually get pretty intense, like, oh, who's gonna make it to the finish line first? Oh. So yeah, the gameplay actually gets a 7 out of 7, which means in total, the game gets a 10 out of 10. Now, here's today's sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Theinnerwizdom 2. Theinnerwizdom 2 makes great content of edits of things and of edits of things. So you should go and subscribe. I decided that, I'd let the camera focus. Hold on. I decided that I'd let the camera focus, and I decided that, maybe I should get some better lighting. So as you can see right here, I've got this nice little light right here. It's not too distracting. I think this lighting's pretty good. No shadows anywhere. Yeah. Oh, wait. Maybe... Just thought of a better idea for lighting. Like this. Yeah, this looks good. So anyways, go and subscribe to the Theinnerwizdom 2. Here's a clip.
Take me to the inner wisdom. 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 Take me to the inner wisdom.
I bet that was epic and not shitty. Oh yeah, there's still 2 more games left. I guess I'll review them. Incandescence is a game that exists. Now let's get into the... The music is the main part of the game, and it's very atmospheric. It's definitely the best music I've heard out of any Flash game so far. And it also really works with the graphics, which is why I'm just going to give both of the ratings in this segment instead of splitting them up. I'm just going to give the scores right here. Okay, so here's a bit of the music and the visuals just to let you see. So yeah, the music gets a 1 and the visuals get a 2. So let's just straight up get into the... There's barely any gameplay. The game basically just walks you through it. You can't lose. There's no things you have to do. But that's not really that much of a downside. So the gameplay gets a 5 out of 7. Yep, it's pretty good actually. Well, it's not very good, but that's not what the game's focusing on. So that means in total the game gets an 8 out of 10. Alright, that was a pretty short one. Now let's get into the next game. Alright, Jump Phobia. This is a rapid fire. The music, it's pretty good. 1 out of 1. Now let's get into the... Oh my god, it's so amazing. Oh my god, the graphics, they're just so good. No, but in all seriousness, the graphics are probably some of the best graphics I've seen on a platformer ever. That's a 2D platformer, by the way. Your character is very small, but it's not so small that you can't see. It's not really distracting in any way. So yeah, the graphics get a 2 out of 2, okay? So let's get into the... So the main gimmick of the gameplay is that you can't jump. Well, you can jump, it's just automatic jumping, meaning that you have to do a bunch of weird things just so that you can move forward within the gameplay. So yeah, it's, pretty good gameplay. A bit of it's a bit like but it's mostly entirely epic content, which is why the gameplay gets a 5 out of 7, which means that the game gets a 8 out of 10.